Welcome to Sharing is Caring, a podcast brought to you by Care Dallas. I'm your host, Fritz Deichert, a recovery coach, a board member, and someone who's personally walked through the path of addiction, education, and healing. This podcast is our window into the world of addiction, recovery, prevention, and everything in between. Each episode, we sit down with real people, survivors, parents, professionals, artists, educators, and leaders from right here in North Texas, who are willing to share their stories, their truths, and their hope. This isn't about judgment, it's about understanding, it's about connection, and most of all, it's about care. Because at Care Dallas, we believe that when we listen, we learn, and when we talk openly, lives change. So wherever you are on your journey, we're glad you're here. So let's start. Yo, welcome to Sharing is Caring, our 5th episode with Heather Ormand. Thank you for coming.
Yep, absolutely.
We appreciate it. So we've never met, we just did before. And you, I heard a little, you're the CEO of Nexus.
Correct.
You're in recovery, 2 children,
Yes.
a husband in recovery,
Yes.
and you're from Bentonville, Arkansas.
That's right.
And you know, Bentonville, Arkansas, the home of Jan Osborne,
That's right.
right? My producer.
Correct.
Yeah, we're kind of butting heads right now. She gave me grief about what I've been wearing.
Well,
I think I look appropriate.
4.
Oh, 4, okay. For life?
Okay.
Fair. I mean, should I show up in a
Agreed.
tuxedo? That's all.
No.
Next time I'll be in a tuxedo.
Okay.
But thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
So born in Arkansas, in Dallas. How'd you get here? Let's just jump in.
Okay. So I was actually born in Kentucky,
Oh, okay.
and my family moved around a lot until I was in 4th grade because my dad was with Walmart. He's an immigrant from Pakistan,
Okay.
and he started.
So you're first generation?
I am.
Okay.
So he started out working in Walmart stores when he was putting himself through college, and worked up through the ranks and was promoted to vice president when I was about in 4th grade.
Grinder. That's
He-
the
yeah,
hustle.
He absolutely. So not a lot of excuses in
Right.
our family.
Yeah.
And so we moved to Bentonville when I was in 4th grade, and so that's where I
Okay, so
grew up.
Bentonville, hard place to grow up as a first generation.
100%. And I
Yeah.
know that Jan is right there, but Bentonville.
No, let's go.
Bentonville is a very, less so now, but a very homogeneous, all white, all Christian community. And so immediately we were other because my dad was
Yeah.
Pakistani. He was the youngest vice president at the time. He was 35.
And Walmart, Arkansas's home.
Yes, exactly.
So he's ruffling it up there.
He was young and he was brown, and my mom
And a
is-
hustling. That intimidates people.
It does.
Yeah.
And my mom is white, American, blonde, beautiful woman. But it was very clear that we were different because of my dad. And
Right.
so I kind of carried that around for years and would do anything to fit in. And so that led to me making some pretty bad choices.
Okay.
Early on, I started drinking alcoholically at 14.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I wouldn't know that it was alcoholically because everyone around me drank as well, and not a lot else to do in Bentonville. And
Arkansas football, Walmart, and drinking.
that's about it. And I, on the outside, fit in really well. I was a cheerleader, I made straight A's. Our family had a lot of resources, which I didn't even realize until I grew up, and then realized that not everybody had a new car when they were 16,
Right.
and people had to worry about bills being paid, and we were really, really fortunate.
Did they know you were drinking like that?
They knew I was drinking on the weekends, but kind of our family thing is if everything is okay on the outside,
Well, good.
we're not going to talk about what's going on. And so
Yeah.
I would have minor consequences. I'd get my car taken away for a weekend, or I couldn't go to a party or whatever, but it was really hard for them to discipline me in any real way because I succeeded in all the external things. And so it wasn't, I wasn't failing out of school. I wasn't visibly sick
Right.
or depressed. Alcohol was always my drug of choice. I stayed away from everything else. And I think that was, I had a preservation, and certainly my higher power I just had a fear of drugs, and so I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But definitely started smoking and drinking at 14 to fit in. But then I just remember loving how it felt like, oh, I don't have to watch everybody in the room and think about what they're thinking of me.
Yeah, you're
I
good.
can just be fun, and I can be
You've got bubble wrap around
spontaneous.
you.
Exactly.
It's funny how that happens. Because it's
And
really doing the opposite, right? It's not protecting.
no, and I was
Destroying.
extremely depressed. I had no idea why on the weekends after a binge I would feel like dying. I had my first suicide attempt at 15. My parents did the best they could.
Did they know?
They did. They rushed me to the hospital. They rushed me to the hospital the next town over because they didn't
wanted to
want
hide it.
anyone to know what was going on. So that
Yeah,
kind of
'cause
gives
then
you
you-
an indication.
Then you're Brown, vice president of Walmart, and your daughter's a loon.
Yeah.
Not that you were, but that's right. That's the fear.
Right. They didn't want anybody to know.
Right. See, and that's, I got asked, what would you do to solve, if you could do anything to help with addiction? My answer, people always expect, laws or whatever their responses. I just think if everyone told their neighbor about what they struggled with,
Yeah.
we'd save a lot of pain and suffering.
Yeah, it drives my husband a little crazy. He's used to it now, but I will talk to anybody about my story and we'll say
Shout
all of it. He's like, does everybody need to know you have had 2 suicide attempts? And I'm like, well,
Yeah, because
maybe
that
they're
person,
thinking about
because
it.
maybe that person did it or their daughter did it and they don't know who to talk to. And here you are, and it's like, there's such a release of it, right? That you talk about it. I had a guy I was friends with that when he in early sobriety, I was helping, and he had just out of college, and he had this big job, and he wanted to be the guy in his commercial real estate, golfer, but he couldn't drink, right? He'd end up in a field in his truck. I have no idea how he got it. So he had this big work retreat where this huge company, they're like a national, probably a international company. They had this big conference in Dallas and everyone was going to be there. He said, they're all going to be drinking. I'm 22. What do I do? I'm like, dude, own it. I was like, you never know what happens. And he's like, I can't. So he goes and he calls me and someone asked him why he wasn't drinking. And he said, it doesn't work for me. They were like, everybody here is drinking and you're 22 and you're doing fine and you're the life of the party, you're going bowling. And he was like, yeah, it was the CEO of this company that asked him. And he recognized it and told a story and the guy was like, yeah. So now Matt's on their radar because he shared it. And I just think it's cool when people talk about it. Like, I get your husband's thing. Like, my dad, I think for a long time was the same way with my mom.
Yeah.
But I think you have to. It's connection with a human, right?
And you hear so much more from other people and what they're going through. And not that maybe if my parents had heard more of those stories, they would have known that it wasn't
uncommon.
Yes.
You're not on an island.
It wasn't something that money could fix. It wasn't something that geographies could fix, because we did that too. But so when I had that attempt, they drove me to the hospital. When you have a suicide attempt at that age and you're a minor, they have your parents make an appointment with a psychiatrist. I was supposed to get aftercare. They made all the appointments. We did all the things, and then they canceled them.
Oh, they checked the boxes essentially.
They checked the box. You're fine. Everything's good.
We'll love you more.
We're not going to talk about this again. And so they started looking at boarding schools because it couldn't possibly be me. It had to be the surroundings.
It was Bentonville.
It was Bentonville.
These damn people from Arkansas.
It was the small town. I was meant for more. They needed to challenge me. And so we started looking at boarding schools. And then my dad had the
Because that'll solve the problem. Let's have no adult supervision.
Exactly. Which I was thrilled about.
Hell yeah, you were.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And so instead we ended up moving to Argentina. And my dad had the opportunity to be the president of Walmart South America. And so I learned really early on, like, we just pick up and we leave our problems behind. But the problem was I went to Argentina too. And
I like that. Yeah, they didn't know they were packing the problem.
They didn't. And
they probably had their problems too, right? I mean, just the whole system.
Absolutely. And I'll focus on my story, but it's a family disease for sure.
So did you fit in better in Argentina?
Well, I felt like I fit in better because there was no drinking age. And so we could start drinking at lunch at school, which was awesome. And
damn, you didn't know, like, I used to like sneak to the alley behind the middle
No.
school and high school.
we would walk to the bodega and grab beers and then go back to class.
Sounds like a pretty sweet way to live for a
It
15-year-old who
was,
wants to numb out.
it was pretty great. And it was a small school.
Did your parents adopt that? Like, you come to, the drinking age was different everywhere, but you're in Arkansas and the drinking age is 21. So that's the law. You moved to Argentina, there's no drinking age. Did your parents stick with you should probably be 21, or they were like, that's legal?
It's legal, you're fitting in, again, you're making good grades, you're starting to look at colleges. As long as all the exterior stuff was fine, I didn't have a
Haven't tried
lot
to
of
take your
rules.
own life again.
Correct.
You're fixed.
Yep,
Let's roll.
let's do it.
Okay.
So the best thing that came out of that time there was that it expanded my worldview. And so I started to look at colleges outside of Arkansas, Texas, and Tennessee, because that was kind of where people were
Razorback,
going.
Volunteer, Longhorn.
Yes.
And now you're in Argentina.
Well, I was looking at Vanderbilt and SMU, but yes,
Oh, okay.
that's the way we rolled in our family.
Yeah.
But I started to look at colleges on the East Coast and ended up going to University of Richmond, and got me out of Bentonville, out of being close with my family. And so I really do. I'm grateful that we had that time down there.
Yeah. Do you have siblings?
I do. I have a younger brother.
Okay. How much younger?
He's 4 years younger.
So he packed up with you.
He did, and he and my mom were pretty resentful that we were
Close.
moving to fix me.
Yep.
And so that's stuff that we've worked through.
Yeah, probably didn't help also. You
For
made good
years.
grades and you were going to go college wherever you wanted. And
Yeah, there was a lot of enabling, and
Right.
again, they did the best they could.
yeah.
And it's been years of healing and therapy and work.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say we're done, but
Yeah.
things are certainly better. But there was a lot of resentment, a lot of
I have it with my brother. He's 3 years younger.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We're probably not even that far along. It kind of is like it's one of the things 11 years in that is still bothers me, right?
Yeah.
Like right now, I'll just be completely transparent. I can talk about it with you and I can't talk about it with him.
Yeah.
And I made him come to therapy one time with me like 3 years in, and he was like, you were good at sports, you made good grades, you got all this attention. You're a drug addict, you get all this attention. You get sober and, oh, Fritz is sober, let's give him even more attention.
Yeah.
And he's just like there. And it's rough, right? It's just
It
like,
is.
and I feel bad, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's fortuitous that you're asking me about my brother, because it's still probably the one relationship that is the most strained.
Yeah, mine too.
And he actually was the one that found me when I had my second suicide attempt. And he was a freshman at SMU, and I had just moved to Dallas and was in a really dark place and tried to take my life. And my parents called him and said, can you please go check on your sister? And he found me. And he had to watch them revive me. And he's 18. He had just gone through Rush.
And here you are.
You got to go pick up your sister that's a mess, and then has been taking everybody's attention for years and years and years. And he was also a straight A student and a great athlete and all these things, but everybody would drop what they were doing.
It
to come
moved
take
from
care of
Arkansas
me.
to Argentina for my sister.
Yeah.
And I'm going through Rush and I'm back in the United States, and now I go and find her.
You've got to take care of her.
Where'd you go to college? We'll just jump real through.
I went to University of Richmond.
So you did come back.
I did. I came back to the States,
And
went
then
to college.
Graduate on time, make it through?
I am also a hustler. I would say I did a 5-year degree in 4. Graduated cum laude, all while
Drinking, mental health problems, obviously. So,
100%.
yep, okay. Come to Dallas.
found a boy that was from Dallas while I was in college. So I followed my college sweetheart to Dallas. And so that's how I ended up here.
Okay, then
We got engaged. And we got engaged at 22. And he called off the engagement because of my drinking. So So that was probably the first real consequence
Yeah.
that I
Money
had.
can't fix that.
Um,
Moving can't fix that.
and it was devastating. It was the first time somebody said, I can't watch you do this to yourself.
Was that a, I know it is not the cause, but was that a push towards the suicide attempt?
Yes.
So your brother finds you.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you at this point?
22.
Real quick, I've just been wondering, when you went to
Yeah.
Argentina, did you learn to speak?
Spanish.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does part of Argentina speak Portuguese? Is that a thing? No.
Brazil.
Brazil's Portuguese.
Yes.
See, I just was on my mind. So
I was fluent and I'm not anymore. I can still understand, which is a
Right.
great party trick because people can be talking about me and then I can
You know.
what they're saying.
And your dad from Pakistan spoke, you just told me.
Urdu?
What?
Urdu?
Urdu. Do you speak Urdu?
I understand the bad words and I understand something about, like, when my family is talking, I know what they're saying, but I couldn't repeat back to you
Gotcha. Okay.
the context.
So you're like half fluent in 2 languages and fluent in English.
Correct.
Okay, cool. So Richmond, Dallas, dark.
Yes. Really dark.
Brother finds you.
Yes.
Thanks for going there with your brother, because I don't go there ever. Probably just my girlfriend knows about, and my mom, my strain.
Yeah. Well, so today is my 10th wedding anniversary.
No way. You're
Thank you.
here?
I'm here.
Please tell your husband I'm sorry.
Oh, he's good.
10 double digits. That's 2 hands.
It is.
Full 2 hands.
And I didn't think we were going to make it. But we got married on my parents' 40th anniversary. So today's their 50th. And
How old are your parents?
they're young. My mom's 68 and my dad's 72.
She was 18?
She was 21 when she had me.
No, but 18 when she got married.
Yeah.
And they've been married that long.
They've been married 50 years.
Maybe we should get your mom and dad on here and we can go through their 50 years.
They're not quite as open as I am, but they...
Just get them in front of me and let's see what happens.
So we called my brother to try to get him to come down here this weekend, and he won't.
Where's he live?
In Arkansas. So there's still a lot of
strain
and pain.
Is he married?
He is married.
Kids?
He has 2 daughters.
Do y'all family to get do vacation?
No. And so it's really hard.
Do you try? Here's my thing. I'm sorry, Jack. Like, I don't know. I can't do it with him. I want to. It's hard. Like, it's hard to try. I can do it with anybody else.
Yeah.
My aunt told me, Jack was never with me in recovery. So I went away. He finished high school.
Yeah.
He went to college. I came home. I got sober at 23 in Dallas. He went from North Carolina School of the Arts, quick pit stop in Dallas to California. He's never been with me for extended amounts of time.
Yeah.
And sometimes he treats me like I'm still the drug addict that he had to take care of. Hey, Fritz, mom's on the way home. Or me and my buddies blowing oxy and passed out in the living room and he's in 6th grade. Are you good? Me physically getting in fights with my dad, holding knives up to my neck. I mean, he saw it all. And I think he still thinks I'm that guy. But I still think he's that kid.
Yeah.
So we do see each other. I know he loves me. And he's probably like, I'm probably more proud of him than anyone I've ever met. But here I am talking about it with you and not with him.
Yeah. I think for my brother, it's more his relationship with my parents.
Are they good?
My mom is sober.
Are they good with him? I mean, like, are they?
They are.
Where are your parents right now?
They're here in Texas.
Okay.
So they built a home actually in our neighborhood to help with our kids.
Cool.
So they're
Built-in babysitters?
Built-in babysitter.
Dad retired?
Dad's retired. They also have a home in Bentonville still. So they're
Oh, do you know that's the
both
home
places.
of Jan Osborne?
I did know.
Oh, okay.
Home of Jan Osborne.
Right.
So they're in both places. But there's a lot of, we're all on our own healing journey, I would say. And my brother started going to therapy about 5 years ago. I started going to therapy about 25 years ago. And so
Same.
it takes what it takes, and it takes a little longer. And I remember those first probably 5 to 10 years where I needed some space and I needed to not be at every family function. I needed to not be at some holidays because it was hard, and it was painful to relive some of those memories and to know what I had put them through and what they had put me through. And so he's on his own path right now, and raising two daughters.
Girls, yeah.
And one is in high school now. And so I love him more than anything. I know he loves me. I know he would drop anything if I needed him. But he's not ready to have some of these conversations yet, and that's okay.
Yeah, and I don't even know if we're that far. I'm not sure if I'm like, does he even feel that way? I think he does. He has to.
Yeah.
And my mom knows, it's like, Fritz, just try. And I just can't. I just like, what is it within me, right?
I think it's the shame that holds us back, and it's such a tender and precious relationship. Like, y'all are the only two that went through what you did together.
And it's freaking me out now that I see him. He has these characteristics of my dad, good ones.
Yeah.
And my dad at this point is probably my best friend in life. And so I see my brother, who I'm like reaching for, but I'm not. It's like this half-assed attempt, half measure. But he's talking and moving like my dad. And I'm like, it's not being morbid, when my dad eventually goes, I just have Jack. But I don't want to have Jack like I have him now. I want him like I have my dad.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be my dad. I already see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard. Family's hard.
It is.
Even with recovery.
Yes.
You've been sober, what did you tell me,
2011 is my current and hopefully last date. But I had 3.5 years went to college in Virginia, moved to Texas, called off the engagement and moved to New York, did another geographic.
Let's go.
move.
Bang, 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 all over.
The pain of losing that relationship and what I thought was the love of my life was just too much. And so I had to get out of here.
Right.
And so I moved to New York at 22. I moved in 2001. So I moved after 9/11. But had a lot of college friends up there and decided I was going to start over. And
What'd you graduate, like what's your degree in?
In accounting and marketing. So I was with a Big Four accounting firm, had a great job. They transferred me.
Okay.
Again, super fortunate that my alcoholism never interfered with
you had
work.
the hustle.
Yeah.
You were functioning.
Completely.
Well, let's change. You were functioning to the outside world.
Correct.
Because internally you were not.
It's completely depleted internally, but I looked great on the outside.
Yeah, and that probably filled you up to some degree.
As long as I performed, I could do whatever I wanted to do. And so that's what I did.
Yeah, and you're also kind of, I may be like reaching, but kind of chip on your shoulder, first generation American. Your dad was this hustler. Sounds like there was probably pretty high expectations, and it's just like, here I go, let's go, bring it on.
Yep.
And then go home and I'm done. I don't want to bring it on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you moved to New York City. You're 22.
Great.
You've lived a huge life in 22 years.
Yes.
I mean, you have been, it's just.
Been a lot of places and experienced a lot of things.
Yeah.
And was so just excited to be in New York. It's still my favorite place in the world.
Okay.
Loved the cultural diversity. It was the first time I felt like I fit in, because everybody wasn't the same.
Wasn't Bentonville.
And you could get on, and even, I was always in places where I stood out. Richmond is very much a white conservative private college.
Right.
Dallas, where we lived in Dallas, was the
White
same.
Conservative. Yeah.
And so moving to New York and seeing this wide array of people and experiences, and just sitting on the subway and hearing different languages and experiencing different things, it was the first time that I felt like, oh, I am not that different than everybody else. And it was wonderful. New York is also a great city if you're an alcoholic, because you don't have to drive anywhere.
And nothing closes.
Nothing closes, and you can have alcohol delivered. And it was great.
Right.
And at 22, 23, 24, living in New York, you're expected to be at happy hour every day.
Yeah. Especially in your field.
I worked in finance.
Yeah.
I was entertaining clients. They were taking me out. It was, everything was fine
right
on the outside.
Yeah. I always use the analogy, it's like the house is beautiful, the lawn's manicured, nice garden, everything's painted. You walk inside, everything looks good, and you sit down on the couch and it's like, this is the most uncomfortable couch I've ever been on, and the TV doesn't work, and like all the drawers are
Yeah.
empty, right? Like it looks like this perfect life. Even like you can come inside a little bit and see it perfect, and then it just shit.
Well, and anybody that got close enough to me to spend enough time with me knew that. Because when you got me out of a work setting, got me out of the restaurant, out of the bar, I was a wreck.
Yeah.
Was passing out, couldn't remember, blacked out every time I drank. Would say and do things now that I'm so just, it wasn't who I wanted to be at all. And always had the shame, regret, and remorse about it. So I don't know what it would feel like to be able to drink and black out and not have those feelings, because that wasn't my experience.
Right.
But I knew and I felt it was bad. Like I didn't, it was awful. I just, sitting here with you now, and I haven't drank in almost 15 years, like I can still feel it.
Yeah.
Just that shame of waking up and like, oh my God, what did I do? Who did I let down?
Yeah, so that was,
how am I going to pick this up?
that was me. You know, I drinking and all drugs, Xanax was a big part of my life. I was married to Xanax. And I talk about it now. I would wake up on the bathroom floor with the lights on, you know, with one shoe on, have no idea where I was. And I would like almost thrive in that moment. I was so accustomed to it, right?
Yeah.
I knew how to like get sick and be clean doing it. I knew how to get up and do what I had to do. And it's kind of, sometimes it freaks me out. I almost miss that. I miss the misery. I don't miss the fun, the party. I can still have fun and party. I'm in sobriety, not like, you want to go out? Let's go out.
Yeah.
But sometimes I miss it because it was so my normal. Waking up, not knowing what I did, guilt, shame, what I had said to people. And I just, sometimes I'm like, wait, what? Why do I miss this? Right? It's like,
Yeah.
but it's because it was my baseline, right? That's my memories.
You knew how to move through that.
I was good in it.
Yeah.
And that's in my job now. I love being in crisis with I don't like that they're in crisis, but if I have a family that is in crisis and the fire's burning hot, I get in there and it slows down because I lived in it.
Yeah.
I lived in the chaos.
I say quite frequently in my role now that alcoholics make the best leaders because we can't be rattled.
Yeah, bring it on.
It's what other shit can you throw at me today?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to get through it.
Right.
We build up a resilience and tolerance that I've rarely seen in other people.
Right.
And I see it with our clients every day.
Yeah.
But
okay, you said your clients. We're gonna get there, but we got to keep going because you went deep. I love it. Okay, so
I was in
New York, 22,
yes.
doing your thing. Let's go.
Great time. And then all of a sudden,
ballin'.
People start getting married and start having kids, and I'm
ballin'.
The last one at the party. And
How old are you at this point?
When I got sober the first time, I was 28.
Okay, so you were in New York for 6 years.
For 6 years, just living it up.
And that's, I talked about, I think on the last episode, it's like, it's such a weird time because people graduate from school and then they start making money or have their own place. And then they don't have to be a lot of money, but you're free.
Anything,
And now it's like, oh, I can drink and party, but what separates you and me is they drink and party and they go home and go to bed. I drank and partied and then went home and did more drugs and then would write in my journal about how much I hated myself.
Yep.
And I'd listen to the darkest music and just like live in this
misery.
Yeah, and then I'd go to bed and then I'd wake up. But I was good time Charlie everywhere I was.
Yeah.
I was so good at that. People, but you're so much fun. Yeah, but I hate myself.
Yeah. That's why when people are like, well, I never drank alone. I loved to drink alone.
Same. Or people tell me they didn't like to do cocaine alone. I love doing cocaine alone.
I loved to drink alone because I could feel as sorry for myself as I wanted to. And
be a
nobody was
maniac.
monitoring how much I was drinking.
Right. There was no, and I never felt judged.
Yeah.
Right. Like I always, and it's funny, I've run into guys along the way that did the same thing, but I always carried like 2 bags of whatever drug I was doing. So it was cocaine, Xanax, whatever.
Because you can't run out.
Well, no, but my friends, I'd be like, want a bump? Let's go. And they'd leave the bathroom and I'd pull out my bigger bag that was just for me. But then when that bag ran out,
oh, we all did it, and they'd think I was on the same page as them. They're like, oh, Fritz just split whatever we just did with the 4 of us. Well, I had 3
Your own
times as
stuff,
many in my own
yeah.
pocket. And yeah, I didn't understand why it was bad to drink or do drugs alone. It's like, well, it's this, like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Just what you do. I knew it was a problem. I knew that, but I didn't understand why you had to be judged for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so people start getting married.
Yes.
And you're in New York City.
And I was, again, just morally depleted, and was like, I don't want to live, but I don't want to put my family through the shit that I've put them through already.
Right.
I don't want to have another suicide attempt and it not work. And so I, unbeknownst to me, kind of did my first, 4th, and 5th step, because I sat there, and it's interesting that you said you would write in a journal about how miserable you were, because I wrote down all the things that I was depressed about that lost relationship that I was still holding on to from 6 years prior, and about not being in a relationship and feeling depressed, like 5 pages of just bullshit, self-pity, all the things. And I made an appointment with a therapist and said, okay, this is it. Like, I'm going to hand this over to her and tell her, like, you can institutionalize me. I will do whatever you tell me to.
Hands in the air, run through the cornfield naked.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Wow, okay.
And so I handed her the list. She asked me like 2 questions. I don't even remember what they were. But she said, before you do anything else, before we come up with a treatment plan, before anything, you have to stop drinking. And I was like, well, I didn't say I would do that. Like, that wasn't on the table.
You were 98% of the way there, but the 2% was the biggest part.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, you can lock me up. You can institutionalize me, but don't ask me to go to AA. And that's what she did.
Okay.
She said, okay, you try going to 5 meetings. Like, today's a Tuesday. Go to 5 meetings before next Tuesday when you come back to me. If you don't hear anything that you relate to, you don't feel any better, nothing.
Right.
Then we'll chart a different course. But
let's go test it.
You just told me you're willing to do anything. And again, because I'm a performer, because I'm a hustler, she called me on it, and I said, okay, I'll do it. I'll go to your 5 fucking meetings, and then I'll see you next Tuesday. I went to a meeting the next morning and sobbed through the whole thing, because every person in that room was telling a version of my story.
Was you? Yeah.
And
you saw the similarities, not the differences.
It was the first time I was ready to hear any of it.
Okay. Did you go get a 24-hour chip?
They don't do that in New York.
Oh.
They don't do a desire coin.
Okay. So, but what
happened is and I'll never forget, there was an Indian lady in the meeting that reminded me so much of my aunt that I couldn't even look her in the eye, because she was just such a representation of my family.
Right.
That I was irritated by her. I was irritated by everyone in there, but I ran out of the meeting to try to get out of there before anybody talked to me. And this little lady chased me in the parking lot to give me a phone list and a meeting bug.
People are awesome. Not every person.
And so she gave me that phone list, and she gave me a list of meetings, and she said, I'll see you tomorrow night. There's a women's meeting. And so
is that when the 3.5 years started?
That's when the 3.5 years started. I went to that women's meeting, and another woman there grabbed me by the hand and said, do you have a sponsor? And I said, no. This is the second time I've been to a meeting. No. And she said, okay, come here. She introduced me to one of her sponsees and said, Priscilla, you need a sponsee. Heather, you need a sponsor.
Here we go.
We're going to work together. And then I was just miserable enough to listen to what they told me to do. And so Priscilla said, you're going to meet me on Saturday. We're going to go to the meeting, and then we're going to go for coffee after. We're going to start working the steps.
Wow.
And we healed each other, because Priscilla had a daughter that had multiple suicide
And
attempts.
here you are.
Was close to my age.
Oh,
And she's still one of the most special people in my life. And this is 20 years later. And she was at my wedding and she got to see all these things change through my life. But that first Saturday that we sat down together, I had developed a spreadsheet of the 12 steps and told her how we were going to get through the 12 steps in 12 weeks. And then thank you very much. I was done. And she laughed.
probably the first time she'd ever seen that.
She had never sponsored somebody
Oh,
before.
so you're a good
And
first.
so she was like, what the, like, and it's not how everybody does it, but she saw me hand that to her and said, no, we're going to do step 1, 2, and 3 for the whole year. And so you're not getting past step 3 for the next 12 months because people don't want to hear that you're sorry anymore. You want to get to step 9 because you want to feel better.
Yeah.
And we're not doing that.
Absolve you of all your sin.
They've heard it.
Yeah, time to show it.
It's time to make some living amends. And so you stick with me for the next year and people are going to see a difference in you.
Right.
And you're going to feel different. And so, again, I don't know why it worked. I don't know why I listened to her because I've never met her before. She's my mom's age. We had nothing in common. And I
Off
did.
you go.
I listened to her every day.
Okay, so y'all didn't have anything in common, but she did have this tie with her daughter?
Yeah,
Okay, so did you stay in New York through it all?
I did.
Did you do 1, 2, and 3 over 12 months?
I did 1, 2, and 3 for 12 months.
How often were you going to meetings?
We went to meetings. Priscilla would admit that she was not really hard on me. I didn't do 90 meetings in 90 days. I went to 3 meetings a week.
Yeah.
And
Everybody's different.
Everybody's different. And, in my role now, I certainly respect different pathways to recovery. And because it worked for me doesn't mean it's going to work for somebody else.
Right.
There are other people that have to get through the 12 steps immediately.
Yeah,
That just wasn't what I needed.
Right. It's all, there's no cookie. When I meet with families, what do you do? What's your process? Well, what do you mean?
I gotta get to know you first.
Yeah, and exactly. We'll do
Yeah.
a consultation. Well, we need this, and this to happen. I'm like, dude, have you ever talked to your spouse or your son about this? Well, kind of, just in crisis. It's like, okay, can I meet them before we?
Yeah.
Right. Well, why don't you think he needs to go to an AA meeting every day? Well, because like the last 3 times he tried to get sober, got shoved down his throat, and he has this resentment. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's let him come up with the idea.
Yeah.
And I like that you said that. It doesn't. Not knocking 90 and 90. I know people that need to go to 190. And okay, so you go 3 meetings a week. You're in New York City. Are you doing better in work now? Are you about the same, just still balling, but also now you have this new life where you got Priscilla and these women?
I would say my work probably not suffered, but it was different. Because before it was so performance-based that I would hustle so hard at work so that I could do all this
To hide it,
other
almost.
stuff.
Yeah.
That now that I was trying to work on myself and feeling things and doing deep trauma insight work, that work wasn't as important to me, if that makes sense. And so it didn't slip where I still got promoted and all the things, but it wasn't the driving
The grind
force
wasn't there
anymore.
Yeah.
It wasn't there.
You figured out that did not have to be your identity.
Right.
It sounds like.
And it was really interesting because you've said you move a lot. Like I didn't know what to do with myself when I was alone.
Yeah.
And so part of the reason she had me do 3 meetings a week was because I did not want to sit by myself. I did not want to be in my apartment. I wanted to constantly be with other people.
Yeah, in the mix.
And so one of her assignments for me was, you have to sit at home for at least an hour every night.
It's so, I think I've said it, but when I got back, when I was first sober and moved back into my parents' back house, I was coming home from a Ranger game with my dad. He worked for Fox Sports, and we pull in the driveway, and he looks up at the back house and he says, "I'm worried about you." I said, "Why? What's wrong?" And I was probably 5 months sober.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You're just up there all by yourself. Like, do you want to come into the house?" I was like, yeah, dude, I have to figure it out because
Yeah.
I can't rely on mainly mom to be not overbearing. She
Taking
loved
care of
me.
you, yeah.
Yeah. And I sat up there and I figured out it was actually the coolest thing I did was I learned that I forgot I had loved to read.
Yeah.
So I'd wake up and I would run. I was full blown exercise, eat healthy. And then I'd sit up there on the floor and I just devoured books. I mean, I just blew
Yeah.
through them. And then I was working for Fox 2. I was keeping stats in the press box for the TV announcers. And so I'd read all day, work out, read. And then I'd go to work around 2 or 3 to the ballpark, watch the Rangers. I'd come home and I'd stay up and just consume books. And yeah, it's hard for me to sit still. I always say if I ever wrote a book or whatever, it'd be, what am I supposed to do with my hands?
Yeah.
What do? You go to a concert or something.
Yeah.
But I had to learn to be okay being alone
Yeah.
because you can't always be with somebody.
No. And I was still batshit crazy. And so I was smoking between a pack and 2 packs a day and decided to train for a marathon. Like, that's how much I didn't want to be in my apartment. I've never been a runner. I've never been somebody that works out and decide, again, like most things in my life, I'm not going to just like do a 5K.
Yeah, you're going
I'm
all
going
in.
to sign up and run a marathon. So I started training, started working out all the time, a lot of journaling, a lot of reading, all of those things, but just learning how to be by myself
Right.
was so important
Yeah.
because I was the person I hated the most.
Yeah. Why would I always said it, I never understood why people wanted to talk to me. It sounds so goofy, but I went to treatment and
Yeah.
all these guys talked about like they were so insecure around girls. And my thing was always I'd be at a bar and I'd be talking about football or whatever with some dude and I would actively think about this guy. Why the f does this guy want to talk to me?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to me. I was good at it. I could shoot it with him all day long, but I would consciously, why does this dude want to be in this conversation? Because when I went home, I did drugs to not have a conversation.
Yeah.
I journaled to like get it all out and talk shit about myself essentially. Okay, so did you run the marathon?
I did.
Which one?
The Marine Corps Marathon
How'd
in
you do?
DC. I finished.
Have you run one since?
I haven't ran another full. I want to do it before I'm
Were you,
50.
were you smoking cigs while you were?
Not while I was running,
Okay.
but yes.
So I
through
used to, when I got sober in my parents' back house, I'd run 3 to 4 times a week, like
have
anywhere
a cigarette
from.
right after.
Well, my thing was if I can't smoke a cigarette until I was done running.
Yeah.
So some mornings I'd need one so bad I would avert all of my morning plans to go run
Yeah.
just so I could, and I'd be covered in sweat, sitting on the porch, and I would just, here we go.
Yeah.
It's funny how our brains are like that.
Same. And yes, it was completely insane. But like,
My
I
mom,
would have a cigarette immediately after my run.
my mom always said the best year of high school for me, grade-wise, was junior year. Beginning of junior year, I ended up in treatment second semester, so it didn't work. But me and my buddies decided, and I told my mom, I was very open with my mom,
Yeah.
always. We all knew. I said, so me here, my buddy, we're not going to get high, smoke weed, until we've done all of our homework. So guess what we did hardcore after school?
Homework.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes in his car, and we'd just be doing it. And as soon as we were done with it, here we go, let's drive around Preston Hall and just get stoned till we have to go home for dinner.
Yeah.
And my mom still talks about that. You know, my brain, I was like, I got to get to the high, so I'll take care of
I'll
this.
do the work
And we
first,
kept each
yeah.
other accountable. And it turned out, you know, on paper, me here probably looked the same as me, but he wasn't. He just
Yeah.
had fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was funny you said the smoking, because I just remember people be like, how, you smoke cigarettes, but you
What
run
are
so
you
much?
doing?
I'm like, yeah, it doesn't bother me. I'm good.
No.
Okay, you run the marathon.
I did that.
Did you stay sober the 3.5 years all in New York City?
I did.
Okay, so you relapse.
I did. So that relationship in Dallas re-entered my
Oh, here we go.
life.
Okay. It's always
so-
it's a lot of times the man of the, like it's your spouse,
Yeah.
it's your person. That's a big.
So I had made an amends to him and his family
Oh.
through a letter, and because in year 2 she let me start making amends, and so many of those, the best amends I could do was staying out of their lives.
Yeah.
And so we wrote letters and I sent them, and so he was traveling to New York for work and asked if he could see me because he hadn't seen me since we were in our early 20s, and I had
And
just
here you-
turned 30.
And here you are.
I'm sober.
Or what he wanted. Like, not that he didn't want you,
Yeah.
but you're what he wanted to happen.
all of the things that all the good things that he remembered about me were now real. And
really real.
And the shit wasn't there anymore. The problem was he was married. And so
so here comes the morals and
yep.
the shame and the guilt.
But I didn't feel any of that because I thought, this is why I got sober.
Are you going to get him back?
This is my shiny prize. Like, this is the outcome from being sober.
All right, okay. Did Priscilla know?
She did, and he actually came and met her, and he came and saw my family and talked
Everyone
to
knew
them.
he's married?
And everyone knew. Again, I don't know, his journey is different than mine, but I think something in him needed to be healed from that relationship too, because we were so young and
Some
went
kind
through
of
so
closure.
much together.
He was the other side of that same coin.
Yeah, and I don't regret any of it because it got me to where I am today, but it was such a new heartbreak because I thought, this is
You see the light at the end of the
what-
tunnel, and it wasn't.
This is what all the work was for. And so I moved back to Dallas,
And he's married.
and he filed for divorce.
Okay.
But then after I was down here, I think reality hit. And he was like, I don't want to blow up my whole life.
Has you relapsed yet when you moved down?
No.
Okay.
And so I moved, started going to meetings here. They were different. It wasn't like New York.
Yeah.
I didn't have a sponsor.
Don't have community.
And I saw the differences and didn't look for the similarities.
The
and
opposite of what you did the first time.
Yeah, and kind of gave everybody a big F you, the bird.
You're also
like,
3.5 years sober.
Y'all don't do it right here. This is stupid. Texas is about excess and money, and I'm only here for him. Well, that quickly changed. I was down here for 3 months, and he ended the relationship, and I blew up his life and told his wife, which is still really painful and something that I regret doing because it wasn't her fault. She didn't do anything.
Yeah. It was you and homie.
It was 100% the two of us trying to heal something that was really broken from a long time ago.
Right. And that probably had scarred over.
Yeah.
It's just you couldn't tell.
No.
Okay. So
I'm down here.
uh-huh.
I drank for another 1.5 years. I was miserable.
Were you working for the same company?
Yes.
Did you start balling out again when you started drinking again?
Yes.
Pattern.
And
Progressive, right? It gets just right back to where you start and then you
right
go harder.
back, and the misery was still there. There's nothing worse than being an alcoholic that knows you might have to quit again. Like, I knew if I wanted to live, I was going to have to quit again.
I always say, like, I from the beginning, I knew I was an addict, but I never wanted to stop.
Yeah.
Like, I never had a problem saying, I'm a drug addict, I'm an alcoholic, ever in my life. I never denied it. It was, I'm not willing and I don't want to.
And I don't want to. I didn't want to quit.
Like, I'm good.
And so I would go to meetings, I'd get a week or two and then drink again.
What meetings were you going to here?
I went to the Preston group for a little while. It was when it was in the old location and you could still smoke in there.
Yeah, that was the best. I'd go when I was 14 or 15.
And I
bummed cigarettes off 80-year-old men.
Yeah.
The walls were yellow.
It was, yes, it was
then
quite the experience. You couldn't smoke in New York meetings, so that was a whole different, that was one of the things where I was like, this is so weird.
Well, then they had the fishbowl where there was no smoking, and I always
Yeah.
felt judged. And a guy that's been important in my life, Mickey Bickers, who's a longtime pressing group guy, he would laugh because he's sitting there, and I always felt judged by him. Like, he was my therapist and like a really good friend, and here I am, like 15.
Yeah, it was
I loved
crazy.
it. Yeah, it was awesome. I can still smell it right now. Like, I have such euphoric recall back to that room.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going 2 weeks, go out. You picking up a Desire Chip these times?
Yes.
So there's like weirdness to
There's
that
like a
too,
fishbowl
right?
of Desire chips, like there's piling up, and I purposefully ran from the girls that I knew I would be friends with and were healthy because
they're the mirror.
They would try to be nice. They would try to invite me to fellowship after the meeting. and would just literally run from them, which is funny because now some of them are my lifeline and closest friends that I'll ever have.
Right.
And then it's not really that unique. I just got sick of feeling
Sick and tired of being
depleted.
sick and tired?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what happened. I figured out what that meant. I
Oh.
knew it, but that's when I got clean.
I was just done. I was so disgusted with myself and the person that I was becoming. But the second time I got sober, it was for me. It wasn't for an outcome.
A prize.
Yeah.
Just you. Like, here I go. Let's go.
It was, I want to be the type of person that I am proud of.
Yeah.
And hopefully someday I can have a family, and I don't know what that is going to look like, if I'm going to do that on my own
Yeah.
or if I'm going to, well, I don't know.
How old are you right now? Like in the moment, in this time?
So this is 14 years ago, I was 33.
Okay. All right. So you had the moment.
I had the thing and I said,
And you knew how to do it.
yep.
And it's all right there in front of you. So you
Yeah.
just walked in and grabbed it.
Yeah.
You stopped avoiding those women.
Stopped avoiding those women, surrounded myself with people in AA, and decided that I was going to, at least for that day, make Dallas my home. Because I kept thinking, like, I'm going to go back to New York.
Where were you living?
I was living in old East Dallas at the time.
Okay.
In a house. And I had just gotten a dog. So I had something to rely on me, which was so important.
Did he or she run with you?
Yes, he did everything with me.
You need it.
And I think he helped save my life too, but that's different.
What was his name?
Gatsby.
Gatsby. What kind of dog?
A Wheaton Terrier.
Okay. Gatsby.
So I did the things but I did it for me, and I did it to live. I didn't get it to get something.
Right.
And I wasn't doing it to prove it to somebody else that I could do it. It was because I wanted to live.
Okay. We could talk. We're not closing it down yet, but we could go. Okay. So I'm done with this dude. That dude, good, served his purpose. Peace. What's your husband's name?
Whoa. Jason.
Jason.
Yes.
Okay. How did you meet Jason?
Jason and I met in a bar.
How long
So
did it
I
survive?
I had 9 months, and I was at the Quarter Bar.
Yeah. Oh, remember how that bar smelled?
Yes. We were outside.
Oh, that smell.
We were outside on the rooftop, and I was with 2 other really close friends in AA. So 3 sober girls were out on the rooftop. We were watching college football. We all 3 had coffee. It was like 9 o'clock at night. He was sitting at the table behind us. We both still smoked at the time. And so he leaned over.
The great connector.
He leaned over and asked if he could bum a cigarette.
Oh, okay.
And then he saw, I guess he was going to offer to buy us a drink. I don't know what he was thinking.
He's a gentleman.
But he goes, oh, hey, can I bum a cigarette? And then he saw that we were all drinking coffee. And he goes, who orders coffee at a bar? What, are you, an alcoholic? We all start laughing because we are.
Yeah.
He didn't realize
that was his pickup line.
That was his pickup line. First thing he ever said to me. And
Jason, he
was blasted. He had been drinking all day long.
Was it a situation of if you spot it, you got it?
Probably. So he's also 6 years younger than me. And so I thought he was hitting on my friend. And so I have zero game. Like you would have to outright say, I'm flirting with you in order for me to know. Okay. But apparently that's what was happening. And he put his number in my phone at the end of the night.
Let's go, Jason.
Called himself. And so he
had it. He had your digits. Okay.
And so
first date was how much?
The first date was a month after that.
It took him so long.
He kept texting and calling. I was traveling for work still, so I was in New York quite a bit. But it was a sign of things to come, because he, probably 3 weeks into us talking, said, I asked him, I said, what are you doing? Like, do you need a friend? Like, why are we talking so much? Are you going to ask me out? Like, I just
let's go.
I want to know what is happening here.
Right.
And he said, I'm going to ask you out. I'm really interested, But as I've gotten to know you over the past 3 weeks, you've lived, and you said it earlier, you've lived a really big life.
Fast, yeah.
And I can't figure out what I can do to take you on a first date that's going to knock your socks off so much that you want to be with me.
I like this guy.
And I was like, okay, I guess I'll wait.
So what was it?
So I ended up asking him out
Bro.
a week later because all my friends do. Like, I had sworn off dating. Like, I am working on myself. I'm not doing this. I want to figure out what I want to do with a career. I hate my job. I'm good at it, but I don't want to do it anymore. So I'm not
that's not
doing
part
this.
of,
And one of my closest friends, and is still a wonderful friend, is the executive director of the Dallas Film Festival.
Okay.
In Dallas Film Society. And he said, hey, we're showing Almost Famous at AT&T Performing Arts Center. Why don't you call this dude and see if he wants to come meet us there?
That's a cool first date.
Because that's not really a date. Like, he's meeting us somewhere. You're going to be with us. And then we can go out and watch the Rangers game after. I'm like, all right. And they're like, then we can meet him and see if he's normal. Like, you've only met him in person once. That was our first date.
Okay, and today's your 10-year anniversary.
And today's our 10-year
10-year anniversary.
And so it's been
2 kids.
2 kids.
Ages?
Hannah will be 9 on Sunday. So she was born a year after my water broke on our anniversary.
Okay.
And Levi is 6.
And your parents' anniversary is also today.
Yeah.
50 years.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's incredible.
And I love numbers. Your sobriety date?
01.
01 11 11.
Yep.
That's an angel number.
Yeah.
I text my girlfriend at 111, and we do when we see the angel numbers, but I get 1111 all the time. It's just like this thing. It's the best one to me. 1 1 1 1.
Yeah.
Okay, and we haven't gotten there, and you have this badass job. You're the CEO of Nexus Women's Shelter. Would that be
Nexus Family Recovery Center? So we do residential and outpatient treatment for women only. And the reason my heart is with this organization and why it means so much, and there's no coincidence, is because you can bring up to 3 kids into treatment with you. And
women need that, because that's kind of a deterrent sometimes, right? If they're in this really bad place and maybe the dad's not around, what do I do with my kids? I have family support, and you're like, bring them, let's go.
And these kids have been through so much
Yeah.
with their moms, but there is, in my opinion, no love more pure than what a kid feels for their mom.
Right.
You can be so down on yourself and just morally bankrupt, but that kid still looks at you like you are everything.
Yeah, you walk on water.
So they get to come with them.
Yeah.
And those kids get to heal too. And so it's an amazing place. And I wouldn't be able to do it without Jason and without the kids. And I took the job at a terrible time. I moved over there
during COVID, right?
June of 2020.
Yeah.
And Levi and Hannah were 1 and 3. And Jason was drinking alcoholically and didn't have a career, and we didn't know what was going to happen. And he said, if you don't take this chance now, you're always going to regret it.
So did he get sober?
And so we did. And yes, he did finally get sober.
Let's go, Jason.
And I saw us repeating patterns that I had lived through.
Yeah.
And even though our kids were little, they know.
Right.
And I didn't want to do that to them. And he's such a great man and person. I thought, like, if we get divorced, I think he'll get sober. And he'll be a good dad. Like, he will be a better person without me in his life enabling this and making it easy for him. And so I filed for divorce and handed him the papers. And I can honestly say I never knew how much he loved me until he quit drinking. I always thought I was just somebody that made his life easier, which is a terrible thing to
it sucks
say
for
out
him.
loud.
It kind of sucks for him too, because he's like, wait, I'm sure if I were him, I'd be like, babe, no, you're my whole life.
and he quit, and he never looked, and he's such an amazing partner and friend, but it's like dating somebody all over again.
Yeah, here they are, raw.
Well, and we've talked to our friends about it. Like, there was a little bit of power in me being the sober one and him being the mess. Because I got to, whatever he did, well, I remember that what you did last night, and I remember what you said, and like there was a moral high ground that I got to live on.
Right.
And now I don't. And now we're truly equal partners. And it's completely a different relationship than it was 10 years ago.
I always say when I meet clients that I'm a recovery coach, that I tell their parents or their spouse, their husband or their wife or whatever, let them know I'm just a normal dude. I'm gonna show up in a sweatshirt and hoodie or whatever, shorts, and I'm not a therapist or a doctor, because I think people tend to put therapists and doctors on a pedestal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so where I'm going with that is you're the CEO of Nexus Family Recovery Center.
Yep.
Which in Dallas is a big, like, I know all about Nexus. Most people do, even people that aren't in the addiction world. And here you are, you're the CEO. So I'll be honest, when Jan told me you were coming, I was like almost intimidated a little bit, right? Because here you are. And then I meet you, and just like I tell families, I obviously don't listen to myself. Everyone has their shit. You are not a perfect human. And it's what you do with it, right? Like, that's my thing is people, oh, he's sober 11 years, right? He has a job. Like, I've been through hell and back more in recovery than I have.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just because I'm in recovery doesn't mean someone passing away doesn't hurt me as bad, or that I still like do dumb shit, or I sometimes don't show up as the man I need to in my relationship with my girlfriend, or I'm not the son I need to be for my parents. But it's what I do with it, right? It's then I do apologize, or I do keep living the amends.
Yeah.
And so talking to you, it's like we're gonna be talk for an hour, and we talked 5 minutes that you're this big badass CEO, but you're just this raw human. And I think people forget that about each other, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm sure your dad, he was this big baller and he paved the way. He's got his shit, right? Married 50 years. I told you before we started, I'd like to get them in here and talk about 50 years of marriage. And so I appreciate your vulnerability.
Yeah.
I think it's badass that instead of being like, did the fall hurt? Because it doesn't hurt falling from heaven. You're an angel, or whatever that dumb pickup line is. Jason's line is, what are you, an alcoholic? It's like, actually, I am.
Yeah.
And then
I didn't know how big of a part it would play in our lives, but that.
What a courageous move, though, that he wasn't scared off.
No.
And like, you have this big job and you're older, and it's like, bring it on.
Yeah.
And then he steps up, and at the end, and that's awesome. I'm also very grateful that you shared about it, right? Sometimes people don't want to share the mess. And you're kind of a public figure, right? I mean,
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here you are. I think it makes you even more, vulnerability. Okay, Brene Brown, it's like you walk on a tightrope and there's someone on the other side, and you either fall or you get caught. And if you fall, okay, you fall, but you get right back up. But it's a powerful thing.
Yep.
Because people can relate to you with all this stuff. Okay, I could keep going and going.
Yeah.
I think Caitlin wants me to wrap it up, and I'm fidgeting. I really appreciate it. We'll put a link in for Nexus, so people can check it out. It's really a good cause. And you can donate and help out in different ways, right? I mean, they're on the website.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to start asking people this. If you could do one thing, like you had full control to help, not cure addiction, that's not a thing, but you could do something that you could like do change, like on a big scale, and people listen, what would you do?
It's a great question.
I'll give you some. I got asked it, and everything's running together right now for me, so I don't remember, but I told somebody I would just have everyone talk about it. I think we did say, like, I'd have the neighbors and people, it doesn't have to be some crazy extravagant, but is there something that you would encourage? We don't even go that big of a scale. You go up to your neighbor and say, hey, X, Y, and Z, this would help like society, mental health. And
I think that's a great answer. Like, I'd make it okay for people to talk about it and to talk about how they're feeling. Like, we're so consumed with image and exterior and social media and putting out there all the things that are good. I think if people would talk about their mental health struggles and their addiction and, like you said, the mess. It's okay to talk about the mess
Yeah.
because there's so much beauty, and the only real joy and happiness comes from being able to talk about that and move through it.
And you
I-
can move through it.
You can.
You
Yeah.
did. You were in mess for a long time, but then let's just go June 2020. New job, COVID, 2 kids under 4, husband's having his problems. And now look what he says, 3 years sober, you
He's
said?
3 years sober.
10-year anniversary,
Yeah.
2 healthy kids, you got a tattoo to show it all off.
Yeah.
Nexus is pumping and you're balling. It's just a different balling, right?
It's a different ball.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to thank Pellicula Media, Junior and Haley, Rigsby the dog. I want to thank Jan Osborne, Peter, and Caitlin. We appreciate everybody listening. This was episode 5, and Heather, thank you so much.
Thank you.